Forward, sharing disappointment, but sharing the fact that in a big way they'll never forget the guys that they're lined up with in that room, the down times and the good times. And that needs to be brought up right now because we're not happy with the outcome of this ball game. I thought we really played with a lot of the kind of energy that you play if you were going to the playoffs. So this game really, energy-wise, tribute-wise, coached-wise, played-wise, was a real tribute to our team and gives me a lot of encouragement going forward.
Jerry, what was your message to Mike McCarthy and what does he mean to you? Well,
I spoke to the whole team, and Mike was in the room with all the coaches and the whole team. And, of course, Mike's one of the best coaches that I think there is. He was made the coach here because I thought that, and he's done absolutely nothing to diminish my opinion of him as a coach. And I am really impressed with the way the players identify, look, are with him. They're inside with him. And that's important. That's important because he's had some times when each one of those players individually as well as a team have not been fun times. And so he's been there in his way for them on an individual basis. He's been there in his way for them on a team basis. And at the end of the day, you know that these are people. All I've got to do is see Bill Bates out here today, and years flash through my mind about days with Bill, a glass of tea or anything like that. There's lots of things that go into being together on trying to win games and win a championship.
As coaches and their
personal.
families try to make plans for the future, when do you anticipate making some decision about those futures?
I'll follow this kind of the time frame that I've done in the past. And that'll be it. So the way that it's evolved in the past will be a time frame, and I can tell you the past is not necessarily consistent in terms of a time frame.
When you said Friday that the hay is in the barn about McCarthy and the coaches, does that mean, have you made up your mind on Mike McCarthy?
No. Well, the point is that all that I'm going to look at, I was answering that question, and that was, does the outcome of this game really impact his future? And I said no. All of the things I'll consider are hays in the barn.
Report came out that you want McCarthy back, but maybe others in the building don't. Is there any truth to that?
Well, I again, at the risk of talking about something that I don't want to talk about at this time, but we've got a lot of work to do. But certainly, we're all looking for ways to get better.
5 years ago, how much did Cooper Rush's contract incentive play into him not playing today?
I didn't even know about it. I didn't even know about it until I read about it. So nothing at all. Those incentives are in there for the team, and we put them in there so that if someone is, in his case, as a backup quarterback, has to play, they've got the financial incentives, but they're usually put in there because of the people representing him, and they should be. So he did really earn some pretty serious incentives this year.
5 years ago,
excuse me.
What did you think of Trey Lance?
I thought he really played well, and I was really proud of him. I liked the way that he showed delivery on the ball, the arm strength, the way the passes got there, zip on the ball. And then, of course, we all know that if he gets a little room, he can really has a lot of speed and can be a real serious threat that way. And I thought he had a really good outing.
Jerry, 5 years ago with Jason Garrett.
2 weeks ago, why not see Trey Lance sooner?
Well, again, we've Rush. We felt right through the loss of Dak that Rush gave us the best chance to win. And Rush does things out there that the experience factor really makes a big difference. Rush had a lot to do with how good our running game has gone because he's up there making calls and our players, our blockers, are listening to information that helps him do a better job in the run game. He does that real fast, real quick. And so you really got some improvement there, really, that I give Rush Chris a lot of credit for.
Jerry,
But if
5
you're
years ago with
eliminated, why not just see Trey Lance a game earlier?
Well-
Give him a little bit more to build on.
Well, I don't know why I bought the Cowboys. I mean, you ask why you do things because last time Rush played well enough to beat Washington, and logic would tell you, we'll go with him again. He's a pretty good quarterback to beat Washington with. So, but the way it was there for us to do, we decided to go. Legitimate question, but I don't need to struggle with the rationale on how it happens, because there may not be good rationale. Maybe it's just because we today against this team wanted to take a good look at Lance.
Jerry, 5 years ago with Jason Garrett, the way that situation played out for a week, were you happy with the way that process went? Were you satisfied with that?
Two things happened there. We left working with Jason, which was hard. I actually had worked with him almost 15, 20 years. I had never not written a check to a Garrett since I owned the Cowboys, ever. There was always a Garrett on the end of one check, at least, out there. So that was hard to do from a relationship standpoint. And so that gives you an idea, but the process involved a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of spending, looking at options, hearing people's perspective. I'll visit with coaches and players ad nauseum over the next days.
Jerry, when you reflect back on this season, do you have regrets at all about the roster you provided Mike McCarthy and his coaching staff?
Well, I think that's fair. I think that's very fair, and I always provide the roster for the coaches. And so if you don't get there, then you've always got some second guessing. And yes, I second guess myself all the time. And so the answer is yes. We make a lot of decisions. Some of them don't work out as good as others. But the good ones are mine, the bad ones are Steve's.
Considering the way you described Mike's performance first time out here, why would you consider making a change?
Again, I don't know that I am considering making a change, is really what I'm trying to say. I agree with you. And use the complimentary verbiage or the complimentary talk about him is, I think, fact. I think I can say that about him no matter what I'm thinking or not thinking.
Whether it be Mike or someone else, what do you absolutely need in your head coach next season?
Well, I'm not trying in any way to play a guessing game here with anybody. We've got some work to do, and we need to do some things differently. And we can. And that's usually the case, but we can really do some things differently. And we've got some commitments that we have in place that are real cornerstones of what we ought to consider. For instance, we have players that play a certain way on defense, or we have an offensive lineman. Well, we don't want to go in directions that don't complement their skill level at all. And you say, well, but look way down the future. Well, what you're hearing is a shorter-term look at this thing, so you don't want to do anything that makes a roster or nice parts of it, especially heavily committed parts of it, heavy salaries. You want to build everything to that advantage, not undermine it.
Jerry,
So that's a big consideration. In other words, how to maximize where we have really made commitments and where those commitments we like the status of them. We may have made some that we don't like, so don't go in that direction. But I wouldn't put a coach in here that didn't agree with some of the commitments that we've made in directions we're going with personnel. I just wouldn't do that.
Like some that you don't like. What did you mean by that?
Well, personnel commitments by that.
Yeah.
I may have done personnel decisions that have not borne out like I thought they would. I've done that a few times.
Can you do anything with that now?
Of course you can. You can either, you don't have them anymore. So those are decisions that I look back on. But have we made a lot of decisions in 35 years on personnel that didn't work out? Of course we have. And so I want to meld that up. I don't want to have any decisions made that doesn't take advantage of the assets we have in place.
Jerry, with the decisions,
Is that enough double talk for you?
What sense do you have of whether